All right, one of the best defensive minds that I worked with said that all they wanted to do on defense was get sacks and tackles for loss on first down. So that got me thinking, well, if this guy who knows quite a bit wants to do that, I want to limit these things. And what we did, the best thing we did to limit these things was develop the rewind. Okay, and the rewind is simply this. Okay, you're going to return to your origin. Okay, and the opposite of that is vacate. You got to go. All right, and we'll go through it. But basically, the technique involved is you have to learn to move your foot before you move your weight. Okay, so you're going to step deep with your right foot. Don't transfer your weight onto your right foot. Okay, you can turn your shoulders, but just don't transfer your weight. Hang for a second. If you're entering a void or you're in a void, stay square to air. If you're covered, use the shoulder roll and drag your hand. Okay, and the pace thing. Okay, so this is red light. This is yellow light. But the pace thing is why hurry? Why hurry into a void? Okay, if there's no immediate threat there, why be in a hurry? Okay, and that goes back to this stuff. All right, again, rewind means return to origin. Vacate means you got to go. Okay, and it really began as a function of pass protection. The basic pressed overhang, okay, when we set the tackle out to him, okay, whether we set him flat, jump set, whatever you want to do, uh, if we had a twist, he'd get picked. This guy would shed and go to the quarterback, and he'd go to the quarterback, and the guard had two to block, and he was out here blocking nobody or spinning around trying to recover. So what we started to do is we said, okay, set a little deeper, drag both hands, keep both hands to protect yourself. Okay, if this man hits it, go ahead and meet him. Do your normal technique. Okay, if he loops, rewind, grab the end, so now the guard can grab him. And it's standard operating procedure. Okay, but where it's the difference, what we did was we tried to drag those hands, both hands. Okay, and we really limited quite a bit of sack and what have you against that particular twist. And what we really started to do, and where we really started to shine with this thing, was if we got this situation where the press guy copped, we could rewind and grab him. That would allow the guard to rewind, square, and shoulder chip and give help to the center. And that was a tremendous advantage for us. Okay, so the guard would rewind. All right, and he's not trying to kill the center. He's not trying to kill this guy. He's not trying to turn. He's trying to stay square and shoulder chip. You'd be surprised what that shoulder chip will do to this guy. Okay, so after we got pretty good at this, and then we started to apply the same thing to the C-gap zone. And so, for example, let's say we had this guy walked away, and we were pretty sure of that. And of course, we're talking. Everybody knows. They see the whole picture. The tackle would scoot to cover. Okay, tear the guy out if he could. Define him for the guard. Big important word, define. Okay, define him for the guard. The guard would be able to. He's looking for the spike from the end, or the mic, or anybody else that hits the gap, because protecting the gap is the number one thing in zone. And if he didn't see anything, he would rewind and shoulder chip again square, okay, and help this guy who's in an Apache in the C-gap zone and shut that nose off. And we don't want to shut the center off, so we don't want to do that immediately. I see guys wrong foot this thing. I think you shut it off, plus you expose yourself to this. If you were watching Navy, Army, those poor tackles were getting that, guys in the backfield. Okay, you want to protect your area first and then rewind later. Okay, and we're talking about split seconds, but the whole thing is this: guy spikes, you got him. Okay, tackle works up to the mic. Okay, man plays out, Mike hits it. Okay, You either cover him like he's a 3 technique. If you can't cover him and tear him, you plow him. You drive him to the sideline. Okay? If he's playing it nice and, flowing with the back, matching the back, you got time to rewind and then shuffle. Don't pierce, shuffle flat and go get him. Okay? And that shuffle is only at most 3 steps with the right foot. Okay? And this thing it'll unfold pretty quickly. But what we're going to do is we're going to not get tackled from behind. Okay? We see a lot of the C-gap zone or stretch zone. A lot of the tackles are from behind. They're getting TFL'd in the backfield, flat benders. Okay? We just don't want that to happen. So we want to cut the defense. We'd like to cut it right here at the nose if we could. Okay? And when we have a nice contained end, we can. Okay? Now, taking all that and taking it a little bit further, so here's a even spacing. Tackle goes to cover. This man loops. He rewinds square, shuts the 3 technique who's looping out, and then shuffles up to the linebacker. He's going to shut that 3 technique off and make the linebacker come to him. Again, staying square. He's got to stay square. Okay? Can't shift his weight to the outside foot because he'll never be able to get back to it in time. And he's going to shut that 3 technique off and shuffle and stay square and pick up the backer. Of course, the center has got the A-gap, and here comes the looper. Everything's good. All right? And the same thing, if this guy cops, all right, the tackle would rewind, shut this off, and then go get the cop, and the center would have to fight like hell for the mic, or for the point. Okay? All right, now going to A-gap zone, and we did quite a bit of this in recent things. We have a veer side, and this is the point of attack right here. Okay, so this is duo or inside zone. The zone is going this way. Here's where we used to run B-gap, we used to run this A-gap. Now I'm into this A-gap, and we've gone to this, the veer and the accordion. Okay, so this man is here, and if it was C-gap, we'd have to have somebody on him. We might have to train this thing and get the tackle to go to him, or try to. Okay, and that's usually a check. But if we're over here running the A-gap zone, and it's really here, we've got leverage on these guys. And we only have to block the people that attack the back. So as the tackle goes to step, he's looking for that man to hit it. If he hits it, he's going to take him. Of course, if he hits it here, the end is doing something else. Okay? But if he doesn't hit it, he's going to rewind, and he's never going to vacate this guy. He's going to rewind and grab this guy, and we're going to cut him loose. Okay? This guard is going to set his B gap. Okay? He's looking here. Anything hits it, he's going to take it. If not, he's going to rewind, and he's going to go here. And what we're doing on A gap is we're going points. We're not going counts. We're going spots. Okay, so who's ever in that spot, if no one hits that guard's gap, he's going to block who's ever in that spot. Okay, the center is going to match this guy and try and tear him out. And you say, well, these two guys are going to work against each other. Well, yeah, maybe, but if the center tears this guy out and this man goes back gaps, we got a problem. So we'd rather give the back a chance to go here by shutting this nose off. Okay, and ideally we'd get some sort of a double team and bring him up to the backer. Okay, over here we're going to step to the gap first, shoulder roll, slide veer step. Okay, shoulder roll, drag one hand, drag the hand. Okay, and come back and shoulder chip this guy, set him up. Don't shut the tackle off. Tackle's going to skip and cover. Okay. Now, by dragging the hand, if this man spikes here, it's an easy pickup, and the tackle will just stay on course. All right, to this spot. If this man tries to split it, the shoulder chip sets him up, and there's the tee shot right there. Ping. Okay. And if he's if we can't quite define him with the chip, and we grab him with two hands, okay, and turn it into a double team, well, that's not the worst thing in the world, and especially if that back is disciplined enough to press and bring this thing to the double team, he might be able to spit it right there, okay? So all that rewind stuff allows us to handle what's actually attacking the read spot. Okay, now going to guard pull. Okay, this guy's going. And in normal zone, okay, he's got the B, he's got the A, he's got the A, he's got the B, he's got the C. And then we're just accordioning back, okay? When everybody rewinds together, we call it accordion. But here we have a guard pulling. So in our concept, all right, he's going to try and pinch off the B gap, but we can't ask him to handle a guy that spikes. We've got to let the center look for the B gap. Okay, we've got to let the guard look for the far A and the tackle to look for the front side A. And that'll all unfold, okay, versus movement. But when there is no movement, okay, and here's the read spot, we want to get punch and we want to build a wall and let these defenders come to us. Okay, so the pinch hinge, he'll wind up, anything that hits the B gap, he'll take it if it's coming to him. But if not, he's going to hinge out, and he's really assigned to handle these two guys. The center's going B gap, but there's nobody immediately threat, so why does he hurry? Okay, he certainly doesn't want to turn his shoulders and vacate. He's going to try and stay square, use a slide veer step, okay? If he's got any noise, he'll step deep because he's going to wind up sweeping it. But if he doesn't have an immediate threat, he's going to slide veer step, shoulder roll, drag the hand, and maybe grab this guy if he comes to him, which will clean it up for him. He wants to define this nose if he can. The double team's going to this backer if everybody plays straight. So it's a straight old slide veer, shoulder roll, chip, and work off with a cover. Okay, but everybody's looking one gap over. So if this man were to rock out, the tackle's going to square up. He's squared air. This nose rocks to the guard. He's going to grab him if he goes into the gap. If not, he's going to send him to the tackle. Okay, it's pretty simple stuff. All right, I think it is anyway. But the trick is not what you're doing, but how you're doing it. Again, square to air, drag a hand, shoulder roll, square to air, drag a hand. Okay. And cover. We skip to cover on both of these. We skip in to cover because we're really trying to, if you want to use the red light, green light, yellow light thing, this is a passing lane. Okay, this guy's passing. He's trying to get further than normal. Okay, and then of course if we have somebody on the pulling guard, yellow light, the center's really